Hello everybody, Italian Legend here, and today I'm bringing you some, well, hopefully interesting gameplay. I'm bringing you, some gameplay, which is, I would probably consider it part of the interesting category. This is the game mode of the day. And it is Conquest, but in a 3v3 situation. So yeah, that's kind of interesting. Yeah, that's kind of how this is going. Kind of thinking, I think I'm gonna ignore the main camp actually. So, but I'm playing Janus, and I just got this base drop skin for him, which is honestly one of the probably the only skin I will ever play for Janus ever again, because
Minions
that is how good it is. I don't know. So yeah, anyway, this is gonna be a very interesting game, to say the least. I completely just screwed that up. Guys down. Yeah, let's level that up. So, if you guys don't know, Janus's wave clear is a little interesting. It does this weird wavy thing, and let's just say it's interesting. Kind of curious as to who is going to supposedly push this one. Okay, I'm playing a Medusa. That makes things interesting. I don't know what is going on with her though, because woo! I just got a whole bunch of gold, and I've leveled up so much.
That party was too hot for me. Sorry, on my way. Out of mana. Be right back.
So I really need to get mana.
That's a new beat.
That was honestly kind of crazy. Alright, so we'll finish off our boots there. Yeah, I get, like, honestly,
Your middle tower is under attack.
Could have gone the route of teleportation. Ooh.
First blood.
Yeah.
Sorry. Enemies incoming. left.
I don't know if I even got. My guess is I probably ended up picking that. Would have gotten that kill.
Oh, I'm seeing things.
Get out of there! Man, this is why I love Janus. You just see an enemy, boom, teleport, get out of there. See ya.
Your right tower is under attack.
Actually, I am not gonna do that. I know I probably could, but I'm not going to. Let's upgrade that.
An enemy has been slain. Take middle lane.
Throw your hands up.
Enemy missing left, missing left, missing left, missing left.
Throw your hands up. Music makes you lose control.
On my way.
Throw your hands up.
Your team has destroyed a right enemy tower.
So here's a Zeus.
Sorry. Retreat right lane. On my way. An ally has been slain.
Oh, come on.
An enemy has been slain.
That's so close. Alright. Well. Because of what's going on.
Your team has destroyed a middle enemy tower.
Day keeps the popo away. Throw your hands up.
So, because Janus's lane killer is super angular,
Your right tower is under attack.
you pretty much have to pretty much aim on one side of it to do its job, and that's how I.
Enemies in middle lane.
Not even
Slain an
death
enemy.
can save you from me.
Enemies incoming left. Retreat!
I want one now.
Yeah, I'm retreating.
Your team, an enemy has been
Got out of
slain.
there. Alright,
Hey, must have.
that. Might as well over here. I'm actually gonna pick up teleport
Killing spree!
because I think it's actually gonna be
Deicide.
helpful. At this point. Janus having teleport, it's a little weird, I know. But I figured I would do it. So we got this tower. Man, playing Janus is just so calming. I know that sounds really weird, but honestly, it's true.
Your team has destroyed a right enemy tower.
He's one of those gods that just does enough damage. He may not be like have the highest sustain,
Turning to base.
but he can do enough
On
damage.
my way. Be careful. Right. An enemy has been slain.
Oh, my.
Enemies behind us. An enemy has been slain.
Alright, I'm gonna continue to push this here. Might as well.
Your team has destroyed a left enemy tower.
I am just
Killing spree.
checking. Woo!
Be right back.
It would not surprise me if they decide to surrender at some point. Alright, so Medusa's gonna is actually up, so I'm actually gonna kind of pay attention to that. Yep,
That's too
that's
bad.
awesome.
Good game. Good game.
That was an awesome game. Alright, so I know that was really kind of short, I guess, but I wanted to. I mean, I wanted to talk about just playing in a system like that, in a game mode like that. So, before I get into kind of what I was going to do, in terms of my build, and kind of what I was thinking as I was playing, I'm going to talk about my strategy kind of for this game mode. So, there are technically two strategies you can do. One of them's the safer bet, and I have one using both of them, so I know they work. But, so the safest one would be to basically treat it like 3 solo lanes. And so basically what that ends up meaning is just picking a god that can that you would normally play for like a mid lane or a solo lane. That always works. Janus, I always end up playing him mid lane, so that always ends up working for me. So that's why I ended up, pretty much doing well on that. If I had to change anything I did at the beginning of that game, I probably wouldn't have gone for, I actually probably wouldn't have gone for the blue buff. I actually didn't need it at all. That's because, it was only 3 people. Normally you go for it when you're in a standard 5v5, but I didn't, looking back on that, I probably didn't need to get that. In fact, it was probably, it almost hurt me probably because I could have been using that to get gold and to get XP by going off of the minions that had spawned. So that's kind of my only thing that I probably would have changed. Other than that, pretty good. I think I had the ult on Zeus. I think what is his name? Zhang Kui, however you say his name. I think he just had gotten the first. He got there first. So overall, that was good. The nice thing with Janus is he's got a cross-map ult pretty much. So that's pretty cool. And I thought overall I didn't really need to use my ult a whole lot because Neith and Zhang Kui were already there. Neith's cross-map ult is a lot better than, or I shouldn't say a lot better, a lot easier than Janus' ult. Alright, so let's go into kind of what I am doing. 1 kill, 1 assist. Sorry, I don't know, my throat just got really dry for whatever reason. Alright, anyways, 1 kill, 1 assist. Considering I didn't really run into people a whole lot, I'll take it. Medusa decided to charge me for whatever reason, the time I got the kill, and I think if she had landed the ult, she would have killed me. But because she missed her ult, and I saw it coming basically and just didn't look at it, I ended up winning that fight because all I had to do was drop my teleport, she fall down, and then I won. So, overall, I think a good challenge on my part to notice that she was low on health and make her attack and push her back. The assist, I think, was from the Zeus kill. I'll take it. Oh yeah, that's right. It was from the one where I was kind of by mid lane and I just threw my line clear and ended up hitting Zeus for almost no health left. That was irritating. The good thing is Neith and Zhong Kui kind of picked me up, and they got most of the kills, which I'm okay with. I think overall I would have outlaned Medusa. My goal with playing Medusa is pretty much to just not worry about killing Medusa as much and focus more on lane, because the stronger I get, the easier it will be to kill her, in my opinion. Janus is just really strong, and the more stacks I would have gotten on my Doom Orb and gotten some other things, once I got Chronos Pendant, I think it would have been really easy to kill her. But overall, I think this was a good game. Let's look kind of at... if I would be Medusa, I'd probably build Transcendence first. I'd probably go Transcendence, then, is it Boots? Yeah. I always forget. Shoes is mages, and Boots is, like, anything physical. So, yeah, okay, so I would have probably gone Boots. So Transcendence, then Boots, then if you wanted to go Kins, I guess you could have gone Kins. I actually probably would have gone Ichabod to start out over Kins. Usually when I'm a hunter, I go Ichabod, or maybe even Golden Bow. I know I like to go Ichabod and then trade that in for Golden Bow, like kind of mid to later game, and then once it gets to late game, I trade Golden Bow in. Like once we start pushing into Phoenixes and stuff, I kind of get rid of it. Zeus. No problems with this build so far, I guess. I'm not really quite sure how you build Zeus, but the Ratatouille, I don't know what he was building here. Yeah, it looks like he was building Spear over Obsidian Shard. I probably would have gone Obsidian Shard, just because, yeah, Spear of the Magist usually is not as good in my opinion. That's my opinion, but could be wrong. Maybe he has a good build for this. I don't know. Sylvanas has, like, no damage. He's just straight healing, which is helpful if you're playing the support role, but I don't think he needed to do that. I think he definitely needed to get some damage. Sylvanas usually ends up, every time I ever play against a Sylvanas, now granted I'm not playing against pro players or anything, but Sylvanas is not a character I would lane with, like, by themselves. So usually Sylvanas isn't a god I would lane with. Oh, I also wanted to mention this. The other way you can play this, which Sylvanas still doesn't really match this, is you can get a god who you don't like, who's not very good at lane, but is really good on either like speed and helping out like with team kills and stuff. So going like maybe a Nemesis or a Loki is really good. One time I played this game mode and I played as Nemesis and I pretty much was just running jungle. And I called mid lane, but what I ended up doing was just running back and forth between mid lane and one lane. And then I would sit in mid lane, make sure I was clearing okay, like cleared out a little bit, and then I would run to usually I end up running on whatever duo lane it is. That's usually what I end up doing. And but that's what worked for me. And I mean, you'll get games where you end up losing it. But I also want to mention with that tactic, it is very risky to do that. So if you run like an assassin, like say you want to run Thanatos or something, it is kind of risky to run that. This is a much safer route. So it doesn't have to be Janus, but if you have like Neath, who has a cross map ultimate, is a much safer option instead of having someone run back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and just have everyone kind of stay in lane. And then call out when you need help. That works too. Yeah, I mean, because you don't technically have a jungler, so that's why that's a safer route. And then if you end up saying I want to be more of a jungle side, you end up having to give up a lane to go help another lane, and so it's kind of like, do you want to do that or not? Usually, I will say this when it comes to winning games. What ends up happening is, either if they're smart, they'll stay in lane with you, and everyone will kind of stay in the secluded lane and not call out for, the enemy team won't really call out for help or anything, and then it ends up just being like who outlanes who, basically. But when it comes to, this match, Medusa basically ran all the way across the map all the time. Like I saw Medusa maybe like 5 times total. And it wasn't even for long periods of time. I just ended up teleporting out to get away from her. Because at the time I was low on health or she ganked me or whatever. But overall, this one of the things you could take away from this is make sure you stay in your lane. To kind of mediate your lane. If you want to end up leaving, make sure you end up either placing wards or whatever. It doesn't really matter. But what I would end up probably doing is buying 2 wards. And because I wasn't really leaving lane, I didn't need to do this. I was just putting wards on what I would normally do if I was in solo lane. So I put them really high so I could tell when they were gonna gank me. But if you're gonna leave lane, put a lane put a ward in the lane, and make sure it's kind of higher up, so that way it lets you know when they're pushing up and that kind of thing. And this becomes really important, pretty much necessary to do when you have lost the first set of towers on your side, or the first tower in your lane. As you saw, I pretty much was able to take tower 2 without any problems whatsoever, and Medusa was still up. I think if she had come to my lane, I would have been forced to retreat. And that ends up also saying is map awareness overall. But that's why I think placing a ward down in the lane would help. It reminds you, oh hey, they're here in this lane. If you see them pop up, and it reminds you, hey, I need to go back to that lane. I don't end up staying in other people's lanes very long. As you saw, I stayed in mid lane almost too long. I probably should have. I got back as quick as I possibly could. As you saw, like I didn't stay in mid lane to help Zhang Fu out. So that would be kind of my tip if you're gonna play this game mode if it ever pops up. Alright, so let's kind of go into this. So, Zhonghui plays 3 wards, good for him, and I place 2 wards. That's really important wardage, especially 3v3. I would definitely put wardage down. Structure damage, Neith did more structure damage than me, but I still did a very good amount. Damage mitigated was last in that, but I don't think I ended up running into enough people for that to be very high anyway. Again, damage taken, same thing. Minion damage, pretty even across the board. Neith just ended up doing more. Player damage, again, I was like non-existent because no one was in my lane. Gold per minute, again, we were pretty even across the board. And gold earned, again, pretty even. I think this would have been higher if I had actually, instead of gone for blue buff like I said earlier, just went straight into lane. Overall, I'm not complaining. We were all on the first track for leveling up, and again, we were all ahead of them. Let's look at this. Yeah, see, we're getting, look at the gold difference. Even in the gold per minute, we got way more gold per minute than they did. I mean, so Zhonghui was in mid lane with Zeus, and he got 215 gold more. 215. Wow, I can't do math. He got 245 gold more per minute than Zeus, which is a lot. Zeus doesn't have the best clear, but it's important to note that the gold per minute really is really necessary, especially in a game mode like this. Sylvanas, while he didn't do as terrible as I thought he was gonna do in terms of everything, still got completely outplayed by a Neith, who was really high ahead. And then Medusa actually wasn't too bad. But still, you're 128 gold off from what I was pulling off. So, yeah. Overall, that's kind of my thing. This is important to note. Look at the structure damage difference. They didn't even break 500. You know, total they barely broke 500. That's saying something. We were up in the thousands already. That's when you're not doing any structure damage overall. You're not going to push the enemy team back, and you're not going to force them into awkward and risky situations that they have to try in order to stay in the game. And because we ended up playing it pretty safe, they ended up making risky decisions and we so yeah. In terms of build, not anything special. I just go Shoes of Focus, Doom Orb. This would have gone into, I believe, Chronos Pendant. Or, no, it'd be Book of Thoth, sorry, and then Chronos Pendant. And then it would have gone into... I don't know what I would have gone into after that, but Chronos Pendant, after I would have got Chronos Pendant, I pretty much would have ended up just wrecking, because my cooldown ratio would be so high. The thing to note with Doom Orb is if you're not doing very well, it's better to just get rid of it and get another item, because it doesn't help you if you don't have any stacks, really. So that would be me. You could get either... I believe Soul Reaver is the one that I can't remember. I'm not super knowledgeable on items, but I just know that if you're not doing well early game, Doom Orb is a item you want to get rid of. Alright, so important thing to note also is no deaths between me and Lee, and then 1 death on Neath, which isn't bad, because 4 kills and 1 assist, I'll take that. I always say this when I play Aphrodite, and it's the same thing goes with Janus and pretty much any mage you play. It goes with any god you play, but some require it more than others. Janus is one of those gods where you cannot die early game. Die as little as possible by the end of the game. That is your goal. Which is why you saw me running more than actually just straight up fighting with Janus. So yeah. Man, I just love this skin. Alright, well, I think that's it. Sorry this post-game was a little bit longer than usual, but I thought it was necessary to kind of talk about, considering the fact of what this game really was. It wasn't a true conquest game. It's kind of like a joust game, honestly, just with actually 3 lanes. I kind of wish they made this a true game mode, but oh well. What are you gonna do? So I hope you guys enjoyed. I love playing Janus, and yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a comment down below if you want to see more of this stuff. Subscribe for more. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed. I'll talk to you guys later, and yeah, have a good day.